time all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket.
Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
It's the first one on the schedule, and here we are with the typical names that we usually see up front. Live here tonight from Watkins Glen International. It is the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series live on Vspeed. Welcome in, everybody. Back in the booth with me this week, we've got Alex Gagnon. Alex, last season, defending winner here. Deep in the field, Kyle Diaz. But we had haymaker after haymaker, I believe was the term that you used, between Dakota Floyd and Kyle Diaz after Jeremy Burns and Rob Rader had issues in this race. But Carter Lenz has turned up the heat. He got his first win last week while you were gone. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm so excited that we're back here at the Glen. This place put on such a fantastic race last season. And we know the overall quality of the road course racing here in Racing Rev has only gotten stronger over the past couple years. You know, a few years ago, it was just the Jeremy Burns show, and now there are so many names that we see up front that are legitimate contenders to go out there and win on these road courses. And this is the one that these drivers are probably the most familiar with in these next-gen Cup cars, so there's going to be a deep understanding of this track and how to run it, and I think we're going to see a lot of fantastic battles across this 7-turn road course here in New York.
Right, you are, and we'll take a quick look at the points. Jeremy Burns still holding on to that points lead somehow, 19 points away from Matthew Robinson. Carter Lenz with his first win now up to the 3rd position, Battery Low, reminding me again here. But you have Michael Call, Tyler Harrison, and Trevor Earhart rounding out that top 10. But it's time to take you trackside and get that KLD Pull Award up on the screen. Starting on the top spot this week is going to be Jeremy Burns with a perfect lap time under 1 minute and 9 seconds. Starting to his outside is going to be Rob Rader. So it's a 108.673. That's a heater here at Watkins Glen. Row number 2 belongs to Carter Lenz with Trevor Keith starting in 4th. Then you have Dakota Floyd and Michael Call in row 3. Justin Ritchie and Matt Robinson for row number 4. And rounding out the top 10, Jacob Sirkovich and Parker Johnston.
Yeah, looking back to row number 6, it'll be Grant Turner and Brandon Pamitat. Kevin Orlando Jr. rolls off 13th alongside Tyler Harrison. Trevor Earhart and Grant Thorpe will be rolling off 15th and 16th, with Michael Bennett and Jeremiah Nelson just behind them. Michael Reed, Ben Laughter will make up row 10 here today.
21st spot to Justice Murphy. Fred Pennington will start in 22nd position. Then you have Nick Alves and Kyle Stewart in 23rd, 24th. Kyle Diaz back in 25th with Caleb Gilbert in 26th position. We're going to keep the grid cycling on your screen as we get set to go green for week number 9 of the season. Pace car is going to make the right-hand turn with 33 cars. Here we go, live in racing at Watkins Glen.
Looks like everyone clean through turns 1 and 2. That's always the hardest bit. Robinson was just a touch sideways. He'll save it, though, deeper in the pack as they go racing up through the S's here onto the back straightaway. Burns with the early advantage. Lenz, Rader, Floyd jumping in tow as they dive into the bus stop.
And you see Burns there, single files out quickly, side by side through the bus stop as you go back here to Grant Turner. Brandon Pamitat to the outside through the carousel of Matt Robinson, looking for the top 10 already. Robinson lost 2 spots. Maybe a mistake there at the very start of this race.
Yeah, good battle here. Robinson, Pamitat into turn 6. That 90-degree left-hander that goes back into the 90-degree right-hander here that makes up turn 7 to bring you back to the front straightaway. Pamitat will take over that spot for now. However, a lot of opportunities to generate a little bit of draft down this front straightaway. We see Grant Turner side by side with Harrison. Robinson with the late dive. And they all get through it unscathed. They were looking to go maybe 3 wide there in the one.
apologize if the camera angles are a little bit off tonight. Having a little bit of a problem with my camera. But remember here, stage at lap 10, 50 laps here today, 50 laps, 40 miles per hour on the pit road, and 6 tire sets available. Probably will only use 1 or 2 of those sets here today. Some of these drivers like to take no tire sets on the stage, keep the heat in those tires, but I've seen it go both ways. I think it was season 3 where the tires didn't really fall off here at all, and then season 4, it seemed like everybody was on the same page. We're gonna take 4 of them here at the stage break, and then our last stop is gonna car off the racetrack. Michael
Reed doing a little bit of off-roading there off of 6.
Sideways
Someone's
8.
sideways.
Richardson.
Oh, and he slid into pit road just about. Don't know if that's going to trigger iRacing to give him an unsafe pit entry or not. Take a look here what happened to the 8. And I think he just, a little too much throttle before that car had settled coming out of the corner. And the back end stepped out on him. These road courses are very much one of these situations where if you're not racing the track, you're gonna find yourself in trouble. You know, ovals, you can kind of run the competition in addition to the track. Here, it's very much just run the track and try to capitalize where you can. We've already seen a couple of cars with some early miscues.
Well, I was gonna mention Carter Lenz already picking up a spot in this top 3, right on top of each other. So I think we're going to see another one of those eventful races that we've seen in the past. Car off the racetrack, that's Trevor Keith.
It's a dangerous place to be sideways. Looks like he gets through that in one piece, but I mean, talk about, you think it's going to be eventful. Sure feels like it as Trevor Keith goes for an aggressive move there, gets a bit of the curbing. Car gets off balance and just slides across. And he's not the only one, actually. Kyle Stewart also lost it here going into turn 1 later on at the same point of the racetrack. So turn 1 has reached out and grabbed a couple folks here on lap number 4.
I gotta mention here on this paint scheme, he's got victims on the side of it. Parker Johnson. But if you look at the hood of that car, that is Sandy the Pit Barrel. I believe is the name that he gave that.
The fitting name.
Yeah.
And honestly, an incredible bit of design work for that car. That is, it is not only a very clean-looking number 15 ride out there today, but you know, it's always fun when you get to bring the pit barrels to life.
There's a look at Sandy the Pit Barrel. Trevor Keith started in 4th, but after that mishap has fallen back to 12th.
Yeah, with the road courses, you don't always see someone immediately making forward progress, but you can usually tell who's had an issue with some immediate backwards progress. We've had a couple of those already, but one car that is starting to make some forward progress here is the aforementioned Parker Johnston, who's up 3 spots from 10th to 7th, as he is starting to make some decent headway here. You see he's trying to track down Justin Ritchie right now as they make their way toward turn 6. And the car just behind him, Brandon Pamitat, he's also up a handful of spots as well. So a couple of new cars in the top 10, both of them qualified outside.
Oh, Ritchie really loose off a 6 there. Thought he was going to lose it. He's able to hold on to it, but he lost a ton of ground to Johnston.
Yeah, Johnston's right in the tire tracks now. Could be in a spot to make a move into turn 1. He's just a little far back right now. We'll see what he decides to do. Stays in line here, but got to imagine he's going to be applying a lot of pressure as Brandon Pamitat taking that thing all the way out to Albany.
I think
he got really wide.
I think he touched the wall there. See how close this was.
I mean, he does not hit the apex of that corner, goes way wide. and just about catches the wall. And I just realized in the background there, we also saw Grant Turner almost losing it in turn 1. That turn 1 here at Watkins Glen is one of the most difficult corners you're going to see here on a road course, because not only is it a high braking area, but it's also very downhill. So you also have to fight gravity in addition to getting that car slowed down to actually make that right-hander. And, you know, they've paved off a lot of the area past it to allow it to be a runoff to help drivers actually get that car to rotate and get up toward the S's. But sometimes if you just lose that car too soon, you are just going to be sliding all the way to the outside wall.
Burns has pulled the lead out now to over half a second. Rob Rader within 3/10. Carter Lenz on offense there very early, but now 7 laps in, 3 to go in the stage. They've left the rest of this field by about 4 seconds.
Yeah, they're definitely putting some good distance on Dakota Floyd and Michael Call here, but you know, it's a pretty good battle going on in the top 3 for that stage win right now. Burns has not gotten a lot of separation from Lenz or Rader. Rob Rader doing a good job trying to hang with these two. Obviously a short sample size, only the 10 laps here in the opening stage, but if this is a sign of what's to come in the back half of this race, I'm really intrigued to see how these 3 are going to sort it out. Because if they continue to run this close, there's going to be a lot more emphasis, I think, on the pit strategy than we may have initially anticipated.
Dylan Picklesheimer having some problems there. Lost a couple spots. Kyle Stewart just ahead of him, working on Michael Reed. This is a battle for 28th position. Stewart looking to the inside. Reed out wide. Saw that earlier with Reed. Stewart will go by. Fred Pennington. Heavy front end damage on the front of the 30 car.
Yeah, no kidding. That looks like someone just took a hammer and whacked it right in the middle in between the headlight stickers. That does not look great. Luckily for him, you know, Watkins Glen isn't a super high speed place, so you know, you don't have to worry about the aero a ton, but that certainly is going to be felt, especially trying to get that car to grab some downforce in some of these corners. As we're taking a look back up here in the lead, it'll be 2 laps to go in the stage this time around, and Carter Lenz has gotten back to the back bumper here. Jeremy Burns, 0.3 seconds is the gap right now between last week's winner and the leader. This is on board here with Carter Lenz, driver of the number 66 machine. He's looking pretty, dare I say, settled in right now behind the wheel, as he is just right on the back bumper of the 9 right now. Does not look like he is really stressing too much about getting that car to go through the bus stop. Looks very comfortable behind the wheel.
Gonna have to do some magic here to keep the onboard in the place that it's supposed to be in. A lot of magic there. Both camera controls fully forward just to keep it on pace. I could explain it to you, but then I'd be nerding out on the broadcast. I don't want to do that.
Well, hey, don't have to worry about it on my account, but as we're watching this battle for the lead here, this will be the last full lap of the stage. Gap still hangs at 0.3 seconds, but Rob Rader has allowed this to kind of reel him back into this picture as well. 3 cars under a second going through the S's here, battling for the stage win. They're chasing Burns right now up the hill.
Burns feels the pressure. They've kept him honest all the way through the beginning of this race. Could see an opportunity here into the bus stop. This is where we normally see some passes, but Burns flawless through the first half, clean through the second, and into the carousel, maintaining that 0.3 second lead. This is the part of the racetrack where it's going to get really difficult.
Yeah, I think it's a little early to see someone get really bombastic in the 6, but if this was the end of the race, might have been a different story. But going through 6 and now into turn 7, looks like the 9 will hold on to take the stage win from the pole here. But he has got a train of cars following him here as Jeremy Burns takes the stage win by about a quarter second over Carter Linz and about another quarter second back to Rob Rader.
That spread was over 13 seconds to your 10th place finisher as they'll come across the line. Stage complete here for lap number 10. And that will bring out our first and what should be only caution of the evening. Top 10 on the left-hand side of your screen with Burns, Linz, Rader, Floyd, Call, the top 5, Ritchie, Johnston, Pimitat, Harrison, and Robinson, the top 10.
Some big moves there from Tyler Harrison. He's up 5 in the opening 10 laps, got from 14th to 9th. Same with Johnston and Pamitat. Johnston's up 3, Pamitat's up 4. So a lot of new faces in the back half of the top 10.
Remember Keith, who qualified up in the top 5, just missed stage points here. Got to be frustrated.
Yeah, and that's just a matter of him going around there in turn 1 back on lap 4. Luckily kept it off the wall, kept it off the competition, so he has a great opportunity to get back some of these positions here after this time on pit road, after the stage caution. Really, I think he's got the pace to go back out there and grab several of these spots, but yeah, I'm sure he'll be upset with missing out on a couple of stage points that could have really boosted his day here.
So I'm gonna fix my camera issue, I promise. See what it's doing? Very frustrating.
We're seeing the inside of Trevor Keith's head right now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna see if that actually fixes itself here with this. Maybe. Maybe not. I know it gets worse if I unplug the controller. Yeah. We'll fix it eventually.
It is what they call a work in progress here tonight.
That's what happens when you decide to push it to the last minute. You know, all the prep goes into starting one of these broadcasts. A lot of people don't know it. We know it over here at Vspeed.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
It takes a lot of time. And there's probably a good solid half hour of breaking things before you actually go live to make sure it won't break while you are. I didn't have that grace period, so.
So what we're hearing is that, you know, ultimately this camera issue can be blamed on a water heater, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah,
here.
but it's tankless, so I'm okay with that. Infinite hot water, I think it's justified.
Yeah, for the folks at home, new water heater just went in over the old Bradley Cooper abode, and sounds mighty nice from the sounds mighty nice from the sounds of things.
Yeah, it's going to work out great. What else? Also going to work out great. We got infinite tires pretty much here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So I think everybody's going to take 4 here. 6 tire sets available, 5 over the wall. You're going to see everyone take 4 tires here.
So here we go into the box, watching these front 3 cars. All 3 of them got in cleanly. Two-tire call for Dakota Floyd. You know, color me surprised that he's the one to do it. So he'll get the track position from it. But, you know, the 2-tire call is always a little bit tougher on the road courses, Bradley, when you're going both left and right. You don't have the same kind of tire wear that you would on the oval, where you know just taking right sides is going to be a really optimal move.
And Christopher Schaefer staying out is even more surprising to me. 23 car has some damage on the right front as well.
Yeah, intrigued by that. Don't know if he's trying to come down pit road this time around, or if he's trying to get some very serious track position gains here. Well, I guess we'll see when they come back around turn 7 here, and if he decides to dip down pit road or not. But he is on the lead lap, so it's not like a wave around situation.
Yeah, he's probably going to try to get a lap lead, but I would venture to say he's going to come down this time by. I mean, it'd be crazy to stay out there. We're only talking about 13 laps, maybe 10 under green here, right? So I don't see where this benefits him. He's going to fall pretty quickly.
I think
time, he was about 4 seconds off the leader's time as well.
I think the biggest thing is, getting down the turn 1 would feel like the hardest part, but honestly, I think that part would be fine. The real question mark's going to be, and this is also to Dakota Floyd as well in the 2 tires, although with the pit stop there and knowing that Dakota Floyd was running in the top 5 before this, it's a bit less of a concern, but still worth noting that if they're going to really run into any issues here on this restart, it's going to be going up through the S's. We've seen a lot of times if there's a tire disparity or a pace disparity, it really rears its head up in the S's and can really be a tricky situation to navigate if you're trying to make up all the ground you can on a restart, trying to get up to full speed, going through the S's, and then there's someone not going the same speed you're going. Should be interesting to see how that pans out, but for Schaefer, it's all going to hinge on getting a really good restart and getting through turn 1 as cleanly as possible.
Yeah, that's one aspect of it, but I'm just looking at the entry of turn 1. You got fresh tires, a lot of these guys back here running above the pace of the 23. I just hope that it doesn't conflict. That's my concern right now is, we've seen it in the past, guys that stay out, especially at short tracks. This is going to be similar to that. And I worry that the 23 is going to drive into turn 1 and overshoot and maybe take somebody out. So it's always a catch-22. When you have a guy that maybe doesn't have the pace to be up here in the top 5 on a restart and he'll make a mistake, I'm worried in that situation.
Well, it all is going to be answered here in just a second, though. If he's able to avoid the wheel spin, I think he'll be relatively okay. However, if there is some wheel spin, this is probably going to be 3 or 4 wide going into turn 1. So there is your race recap to this point on your screen. The stage caution. 1 lead change, but that is, I believe, just Jeremy Burns who started the race with the lead. And he also took the stage. Oh, yes. Yeah. That is, we have run a full lap under pacing at this point, so yes. The lead change is Christopher Schaefer out front, but Jeremy Burns, your stage 1 winner, sits back in that 3rd spot with Rob Rader to his outside. Lynn settles back into the 5th, but it's Floyd Schaefer, your front row. Floyd on the 2-tire call, Schaefer on none. Here we go. Pace car going to peel away, and the green flag's back in the air here at the Glen.
A lot of wheel spin on the right. A lot of wheel spin.
Checked up that lane. Wide. Big time, 3-4 wide going in the 1. How's this gonna sort out? Oh, Burns is sideways.
That's exactly what I was worried about.
Oh, and he's taking Harrison with him.
That was exactly what I was worried about.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. If the wheel spin there was gonna if that was gonna happen, it was gonna make it 3 or 4 wide in the 1. And speaking of some issues through the S's here, somebody is sideways back there. I think that's Michael Call. Oh, no!
Burns is destroyed.
Oh, no, that was... Wow. Well, there goes the day for both Michael Call and Jeremy Burns. As just the 9 trying to get caught back up to the field here after that spin in turn 1. Just ripped through to 5 as he was parked in the middle of the racetrack.
Tyler Harrison got a piece of that as well into turn 1. A lot of good cars just got taken out by, in my opinion, a selfish move here.
I wonder what happened to the 5 if this was related to it. I mean, wow. Burns just ripped through him here. We got to take one look here to see what happened to Call, because I don't know how exactly he got sideways. You see, he settles into the middle of this 3 wide. So there's how he goes around now. Keeping an eye here on the 5. Settles in side by side with Trevor Earhart. Going through the S's on cold tires can be a little treacherous. And I think, contact there with Bennett. And just kind of gets marooned here up in the middle of the S's. And Burns, I think Burns sees that the 5 was starting to work his way back down the racetrack a little bit and was trying to get up and around him without braking. And Call hit the brakes to not be, a moving target, as it were. And those two philosophies disagreed, and man, that was a hard hit for both the 5 and the 9.
And we have, I believe, a restart violation. They're probably going to clear it for Rob Rader here, but he does have a black flag after that restart. So I think that was because of the wheel spin from the 23 and the 53 sideways and out of 1. Dakota Floyd's pulling away.
The complexion of this race has just changed rather significantly here. Now with Rader also falling back a little bit, he slips back behind Linz. Here comes Trevor Keith, who's back in the 4th spot all of a sudden, back to where he qualified. And Dakota Floyd on the 2-tire call, now with a 2-second lead on the field. And I have no doubt there will be some review of that restart, but also the first, say, 3 or 4 corners off that restart. There was a lot to dive into and a lot to unpack there.
Everything that could go wrong right now is going wrong. Rader's got to come down pit road.
Oh, speaking of wrong, Earhart sideways. Justin Ritchie was also a little sideways. Rob Rader does have to serve this penalty for the restart violation. You name anyone who we would have suspected to be in the top 10 really right now, and we can find something that's gone horrendously wrong with their day so far. So Rader into the box to serve this penalty. Take a look here. This is what happened to Trevor Earhart and Justin Ritchie a moment ago. This was coming off of turn 7 onto the front straightaway. I think Earhart just got a similar deal to Ritchie. Ritchie was able to keep it kind of rolling. Earhart was having to lock it down, but I think they both just got a little bit through the dirt that's been kicked up there in turn 7, got onto the curb and a bit too heavy, and the car just got unsettled.
Well, if I'm Carter Lenz right now, I'm a shark with blood in the water.
Da-dun.
I'm
Da-dun.
on my way. Last time by, about 0.6 faster than Dakota Floyd.
Which, compared to the first stage, is about on pace from what we were expecting. At the end of the stage, Dakota Floyd was sitting about 4.5 seconds back of Burns and of Linz. So even though he was able to capitalize and jump out to the lead here on the restart, Linz now with that clean air and everyone sort of settling back in, really starting to make some headway and track him back down. You see Trevor Keith here, currently scored in the 3rd spot. Yeah, the 3rd car in line here is Rob Rader, but he's currently scored, I believe, 1 lap down after serving that penalty, but he's in position where he might be able to get his lap back, which would be huge for him. But yeah, Trevor Keith right now, this is one of those situations where, you don't want to spin in turn 1 on the 4th lap of the race, but the issue that he had is marginal compared to the issue of a lot of the other front runners today, and it has really worked him back into position here to make something happen.
3 cars off the racetrack. Kyle Diaz, Michael Call, and Justice Murphy. Munoz in the 81. Also on pit road with the 7 of Joya. And service going on the 81 now. 4 tires just went on that car if he wants to get it back out there.
And there's definitely a couple of positions to be gained with some of the cars that are already scored out of this race. So definitely worth it for the 81 to just keep plugging away at this. Currently scored in the 32nd position, but could easily break into the top 30 if he's able just to put down a few more laps here.
2/5 of the way through this race as you watch Dakota Floyd get some laps led. Started in 5th position, 6 laps. The 2-tire call, we thought it was insane. But then we saw the restart was even more insane. And now Floyd has gained 4 positions to be up here to the lead. And I think once we fall around that 50% fuel, Floyd's going to be pitting from around probably 3rd spot.
Yeah, even if he falls down to 4th, he's still exactly where he started, and he was able to get the track position to avoid a lot of what happened on that restart, which I think is going to be a very underappreciated part of this strategy at the moment. So here they go, stacked up 1, 2, 3, but in this case it is 1, 2, and the free pass car. So Linz is trying to make the pass here to take the lead. Rader's trying to make the pass to get back on the lead lap. He's currently scored 25th as the first car 1 lap down. And Dakota Floyd's just trying to get any sort of separation here. So we'll see how this works. If you're Rob Rader, I think it's critical that you find a way to make a move here on Linz before Linz makes the move on Floyd. Because if the 66 gets out in the clean air, you can probably kiss the opportunity to get your lap back goodbye.
Wood gonna hold as long as he can. This battle for the lead has stayed around 2/10. Once Carter Lenz got up here to the 24 or the 57, I called him the 24. He's got me with the paint scheme. But once he got back up here, that bubble of dirty air, I think, is now what Lenz is dealing with.
Yeah, certainly. And we also know that if nothing else, the 66 is a very patient driver when it comes to making the moves here on road courses. So he's probably just waiting for the 57 to make some kind of mistake. Dakota Floyd, though, usually a pretty steady driver, so may be hard to come by. As there's the 24, Nick Alves, coming down pit road for service on the KLD machine.
Scheduled pit stop, I believe, for the 24. It makes me wonder if the fuel limit here will put these drivers somewhere in that 2-stop range. This is a pretty early stop for the 24 team.
Yeah, it is definitely an early stop. Theoretically, if you're able to run this thing to lap 30, you'd be able to do it in 1 stop here from the stage to the end of the race. As now, Linz is going to look to the inside briefly there on Floyd. Wasn't able to find it, but now here comes Rob Rader to the other side.
If
the
you're
53.
Floyd, you want this.
Yeah, let them run side by side. I'm sure is what Dakota Floyd's thinking. Let them get a little bit of separation. And Rader looks like he's going to be able to maybe take that spot in line. So he's still a lap down, but now he is the closest car to the leader. And notably for Dakota Floyd, that is now the person trying to take his lead away a little bit further back.
That's what you want. You want the dirty air on the hood of the 66 from a car that's not in contention for a position. Spreads out for the lead here. Looking deeper through this field. Closest battle on the racetrack is going to be Kyle Stewart. And Kyle Stewart has gained half the field in positions here. From 24th to 12th. And the only other driver that I see contesting him is 20 spots gained. It's the next position to pass is Al Likens for 31st.
Yeah, for Al Likens and Kyle Stewart, both of these guys really doing a nice job right now. Taking care of their stuff, making timely passes. And speaking of timely passes, Rob Rader to the inside of Dakota Floyd over in turn 1. So he's going to naturally drive to get his lap back. And here goes Carter Linz to the inside. He's trying to stick it in there going up the S's. Floyd, though, closes the door. So once again, the battle for the race lead is on. But now, notably, Rob Rader back on the lead lap. We were not anticipating any more cautions here today as with road courses, it's very unlikely that they come out naturally. That being said, if one was to happen, he's back on the lead lap and cycle back into the field here. So something just to keep an eye on as this race progresses. But Carter Linz now, once again, the closest car on the racetrack to the race leader, Dakota Floyd. About 0.4 of a second as they make their way to turn 6.
Trevor Keith actually getting closer to this as well. Keith within a second now of this battle is the closest he's been to the lead all day. Mistake there in stage 1. That restart putting everybody kind of jostling all the positions around. Brandon Pamitat in the top 5. Parker Johnston, Matt Robinson, who got stage 10th place points there. You know, Justin Ritchie, Grant Thorpe, and Kevin Orlando down pit road.
27 in to make his stop. Down into the box. Looks like no problems there. Left side's on for the 27. As we take a look here, this battle for the lead. Carter Linz once again under 0.3 of a second. He's just laying in wait right now. He knows he's got the faster car. It's just a matter of trying to find the opportunity to make the move. Right now, though, Dakota Floyd doing a phenomenal job on the 2-tire call, trying to hold on to this top spot. And this strategy of getting a little bit of track position here seems to have worked out in a big way so far.
He's probably going to try to take it into 1. Looking to the right side. He's getting to the right door. Taking it out wide up through the S's. Floyd's going to try to hold on to it. No, it's going to be Linz this time. Still side by side.
Keeps the nose in there, going up through 3, but now finally as they hit the backstretch, Carter Linz, your new leader here at Watkins Glen. And now Trevor Keith immediately applying the pressure here to Dakota Floyd, and you can add Brandon Pamitat to that list as well. There's your top 4, folks. They're all within a second of each other right now. Some phenomenal stuff here through the middle of this race.
That makes me question, is the 66 going to stay out as long as he can? Does he do the undercut strategy? We've seen a few cars come down already with the 24 and 27. Also had, I believe, 2 other cars come down pit road here. There's
Trevor
another
Keith just coming down pit road now, so one of the top 5 making his stop on lap 26.
That was a big question mark for me. I think this is going to be a 2-stop race to the end here.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be. So right now, Linz with a bigger advantage, but I do wonder if this is going to pull Carter Linz down pit road. Trevor Keith was close enough here where the undercut could get him some track position if there's some fall off on these times with the tires. So something to keep an eye on as now Pamitat roars up to the back bumper of Dakota Floyd going into the bus or into the carousel. Tell you what, we haven't talked about it a ton today, but the 87 is putting together a phenomenal drive today. He's up 9 spots and looking to make it 10 if he gets around the 57 right here.
Brandon Pamitat needs a good one. How many times have we set his name up in the top 10 and then things go wrong for him in these first 8 weeks? It kind of seems like he's a road course ringer, though. He's got the name. It's a very unusual name, and I know a lot of drivers in the real-life counterpart, if they have an unusual name, they're probably going to do well in a road course.
Yeah, you know, you look at your Boris Seds, your Shane Van Gisbergens, your Connor Ziliches of the world. If you've got a last name that's fun to say, chances are you're probably pretty good at going left and right.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you know, I wonder if he's looking at making a move here through the carousel. He is right on the back bumper going into the bus stop. Both of them get around Tyler Harrison here. Harrison also has he's had a day to forget, I would say, given he got caught up in that incident with Burns at the restart. Just trying to keep that thing soldiering on, but He is one of many today who we saw in the top 10, top 15 in the early part of this race, and how this race has drastically changed since then.
Jeremy Burns still on pit road, 13 laps down now. Joe Joya on pit road, Kyle Diaz, Michael Call, Ryan Munoz, and Justice Murphy. Michael Bennett also got some damage from that, but he's back out on the racetrack. And again, I'll go back to the 23 of Christopher Schaefer. I don't agree with that move. It put a lot of drivers in jeopardy here. And I'm sure on that restart, things are going to be said and talked about. There's going to be a review. But, I mean, staying out on 13, 14 lap old tires, it causes some chaos. And it's even worse if you can't get the car going. I was worried about it on the restart, and everything that I was worried about came true.
Yeah, it's not to say it was spoken into existence, but we kind of highlighted the two ways where we thought that would be a concern. It directly came true with the one you were talking about, and then indirectly the follow-up happened on the one I was talking about. So, you know, the curse of having watched a lot of these Watkins Glen races before, I suppose.
Yeah. What it did do was create a better situation for a lot of these drivers. Down pit road for Lenz and Floyd. Floyd did not want to see that.
No, and you can also add Pamitat and Parker Johnson to the list there. And the 48 and the 87 hanging right with the leaders here as they make their way down pit road. This is going to be a fascinating race off of pit road. We'll see if there's anyone who gets off strategy here as they just made it to lap 30. You know, with a bit of fuel save here, they might be able to make this a one-stop run to the finish.
About 17 laps on the stint here. Justin Ritchie into his stall as well. Down and away for Lenz. Down and away for Floyd. Pamitat going to battle off of pit road here.
Oh, they're going to run out of space quickly, though. It gets narrow off of pit road here at Watkins Glen. So Floyd's going to hold on to that spot temporarily. Pamitat, though, just as close as he was when they were going down pit road, and Parker Johnston not too far behind as well as they work their way back through the S's. And Carter Lenz has cycled just barely in front of Trevor Keith right now, as we see Grant Thorpe now the new leader on the racetrack.
And he'll bring it down pit road with a 13-second lead over Grant Turner. He will be the leader as we complete this round of green flag pit stops. I don't know if they can save enough fuel to make it to the end of this race, but what I do know is that if it's possible, this is the guy that's going to try to do it.
Oh, and we've seen him do it already. Once this year, we were at Dover when he pulled off a fantastic fuel strategy call that got him the win there. And looks like there could be an opportunity for a little more of the same here today. It's going to cost some fuel saving, but it would take one less trip down pit road. We're on to lap 31 here, and with the green flag restarting this thing at lap 13, realistically, I think if you could get another full lap or two out of this, you could remove one of the times you have to go down pit road. But how much fuel do you have to save, and how much speed do you have to sacrifice to make that happen is the question.
Well, I listened to him on the clutch pedal through the bus stop. I'd say another 2 or 3 laps here, and he probably can make it to the end of this race.
Right now, if you're some of the front runners, I think I'd be very scared seeing that the 39 has not come down pit road yet, because he was right on the money with his math at Dover. And looks like he's going to be trying to take another shot at it here today at Watkins Glen.
He's going to take the lead right here. He's about 4 seconds ahead, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less of Alex Forget. Alex Forget could be on the same strategy, having a little bit of a connection issue, but Carter Lenz is 3 seconds back. If they do have to make an extra stop, we won't know until probably lap 45 if the 39 is going to make it.
Yeah, Carter Lenz came down pit road at lap 30, and he came down with a host of other cars. So either the 66 is going to get real aggressive on the fuel save here, or is going to get real aggressive in getting going. And you know, trying just to make up as much time here as he can, knowing that the 39 and the 19 are going to be trying to save some fuel.
With a heater there.
Yeah.
9 seconds. No,
he's running a lap here at Watkins Glen faster than most people are doing a 4-tire pit stop.
Yeah, that's the blink out.
Connectivity issue.
Yeah. But, you know, man. 18,
I don't know.
19 laps.
He ran that one about 18. If he's able to do that again, might just work.
It's going to put us in a weird spot here. I think
for sure.
It's two stop race. I think you take no tires. If you're the leaders right now, they were within 4 or 5 seconds when the 39 hit pit road. He's, of course, going to fill up with fuel, take 4 tires. Got a little bit of damage on that car from earlier in this race. But if we see, 5 to go, and one of these guys in the top 5 have to blink and come down pit road, I think the 39's going to do it to him again.
It's definitely a possibility. We know for sure if there is any of them who will be coming down pit road, it will be the 15 of Trevor Keith. He undercut the rest of this lead pack by about 2 or 3 laps. So if there's anyone who's going to be short here, it's going to be the 15. I have no doubt that we'll be seeing him bring it down pit road. For Linz, Floyd, Pamitat, Johnston, that becomes a bit of a bigger question. A bit more of a question mark on how much are they willing to try to stretch this thing and sacrifice the speed to extend that fuel mileage. Tell you what, man, Brandon Pamitat, Parker Johnston, having a fantastic day here, 4th and 5th. When we came into this road course race, we were expecting to see guys like Linz, like Keith, like Floyd, but for Pamitat and Johnson, man, this has been a good run for both of them. As we see, I think there's a nice little battle happening here for the 3rd spot. Is Pamitat going to try to take this spot away from Floyd? May as well make it a 3-horse race, as here comes the 48 as well.
Right through the bus stop, through the first half, Pamitat clears. Parker Johnston looks into the carousel now for the 48. Going to take the high line. Maybe take a late apex and get to the inside of the 57. Not this time.
Yeah, certainly was trying to make it happen there, but Pamitat does complete that pass through the bus stop. He's up the 3rd. Floyd settles back in the 4th with the 48 hot on his tail. There is the 53 of Rob Rader, who had driven his way back onto the lead lap. Pit a couple laps later than the rest of the leaders here. Curious to see where he's going to cycle out here relative to Linz. So we take a nice little battle here. This is Nelson and Orlando for the 9th spot.
In the top 10 for the 31, and Jeremiah Nelson. The name we've been saying a lot more here lately, especially in the top 10. 31 gets by the 27 now for 9th.
Here's that battle for 4th once again. That's Dakota Floyd, Parker Johnson going the war here for that spot. Brandon Pamitat trying to get away from them both, but that's easier said than done right now. Johnston running a little bit of a shallower line here. Closed up on the back bumper a little bit. He's going to be able to maintain that momentum down the chute into 6th, though. These 3 are keeping each other honest right now. The moment one of them messes up, the other 2 are going to be pouncing all over it.
No mistakes can be made, but maybe the mistake was already made with coming on the undercut. We were talking about Trevor Keith. Here's a battle between Ben Lapter and Nick Alves. This is for 13th spot. Into 6, on the outside is 7. A little bit of a wiggle. 13 of Al Likens also in this battle. Likens loses a spot, and there goes Laughter down pit road.
And that should be a final stop here for both Laughter and Gilbert. They'll be good to make it to the end of this thing after that. There's your race leader, Carter Linz. The gap over Trevor Keith now 3.3 seconds and counting for the 66. on raw pace right now, as far as who's left in contention, got to imagine the 66 is the favorite. But, you know, we've also said that about Carter Lentz multiple times this season, and then, you know, a crazy late race restart or a crazy fuel save call has put him on the wrong side of victory lane. So it's definitely not over yet, but the pace there once again this week for the 66.
Again, if I see anybody in this top 5 blank and come down pit road, I know that they have to make a 2-stop race. And as I continue to wait for that, we're going to take a quick commercial break here on Vspeed. We will have uninterrupted coverage here for the last 10 laps. Don't go anywhere.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket.
Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Welcome back to our coverage here with about 10 laps left. Carter Lentz's lead is stretched out to 6 seconds. Dakota Floyd fighting Parker Johnston for the top 3. You have Brandon Pamitat in between this sandwich. Trevor Keith down pit road. And that is the short pit. So starting to lean a little bit closer to what Grant Turner's been doing. I don't know
Notably, though, Trevor Keith has come out in front of Grant Turner.
Yes, there is that.
So, all of a sudden, even with the fuel strategy call, he's now got to go track down the 15 if he's going to try to strategy his way into another fuel mileage win here, because the 15, I believe, down in pit road already and is still out in front of him.
Yeah, that's a product of Turner just being, half a second off the pace overall. Keith has been a little bit faster, got out ahead of him, and a fuel-only call there for the 15 puts him in a good situation.
I believe Lenz just came down pit road as well.
Yeah, based off that, I think, Lenz can confirm on that. If Keith got out ahead of him, Lenz not on a fuel-only, just the left-hand tires there. Hamitat just behind him on fuel-only. A lot of different strategies here.
Yeah, a lot of different tire situations, a lot of different fuel situations here. Still waiting to see when the 57 and the 48 come on down, but they're too busy wrestling each other for the lead right now. Less than a tenth of a second. Here goes Johnston to the inside. Thought about it, now thinking about it again. Couldn't fake out the 57. settles back in here in turn 6. They are nose to tail going into turn 7 here. I do wonder, though, how long they're willing to risk it and stay out. Johnston gonna stop here. Yeah, they got to keep themselves in the hunt here when it's all said and done. Obviously, running longer means you get to spend less time on pit road fueling up. However, the detriment is if you are thinking of getting any kind of new tire, you got to take that into consideration with the fact that the folks who may have taken tires, if you don't, are going to have that advantage.
We saw it work enough there for Floyd on 2 tires. Grant Thorpe, Jeremiah Nelson staying out here an additional lap.
Grant Thorpe also pit fairly late on that first cycle.
Yeah.
He's in a much better spot than Grant Turner is here, but he did pit a lap or 2 earlier than the 39. Curious if the 77 has something in his sleeve here to try to stretch this thing to the end, or if he's just trying to cycle into some better track position. Either way, it's been a great day for him. Currently running 2nd after starting 16th.
He's also on the clutch pedal through the carousel, so he might be trying to save it all the way to the end of this race. Now I want to ride on board with the 57. Almost did it again.
I mean, hey, when you have an iconic paint, it's hard to separate the paint from the driver.
Yeah.
Although right now, Dakota Floyd doing his best to make it his own as he's going.
Could he feel safe for him? I don't know.
Unfortunately for Floyd, I just don't think there's enough save you can do from when he came down pit road. So I think he's just probably letting it rip and then hoping for just the shortest stop possible here when it does come time. I think he can go another 3 laps or so, no problem. Take a look here. That is Carter Linz, currently scored in the 5th spot, battling with Kyle Stewart for the 4th spot. Let's see if he makes this move into the bus stop. He thought about it, elected against it.
Kind of stay focused on the big picture here. The 57's going to have to come down pit road. I think the 77 and 31, probably the 10 are going to have to pit as well. It's actually confirming that here. Stewart gets past. I think he's calling out now for pit lane.
So Lynn's up to 4th. We're pretty sure, well, we know that Floyd will have to pit. And I'm like 95% sure that Grant Thorpe and Jeremiah Nelson, Nelson just tucked it down pit road now. So the only question mark really is the 77, but even then, I still believe that he's just a little outside the window to make it count, especially with Lynn's only being a couple seconds back here. With the amount of fuel he'd have to save, I think the 66 could just go on by him. This is, I tell you what, Racing Rev this year, the theme of last year, I felt like was like we were getting some really crazy finishes at the road course. I think this year, at least in the early going, the theme has been we've gotten some crazy fuel strategy races through the opening 2 months here.
Not only that, but we've had different winners in victory lane.
Yeah.
Even with the late race restarts, we've had drivers that find their way on the strategy on the flip side. So you have guys that maybe commit to their strategy and then recommit to it later on, and then it just falls apart at the end of the race. It's just short. Dover, we saw that. We saw that at Kansas last week. But that one was a flip and flop.
And we could be potentially seeing it here once again. Also, an underrated battle on the racetrack right now is the battle for 5th between Pamitat and Trevor Keith. 15 has been trying to get around him now for a couple of corners. Finally has the run off of 7. Looking to the right side here, going into turn 1. And, got a little tight, but Pamitat sideways.
Around.
Little bit of a tap there with the inside retaining wall. He's going to try to get this thing pointed the right direction. Waiting for Grant Turner to go on by.
I don't think there was contact there, but Pamitat's going to fall out of the top 10.
Oh, man. We may have jinxed that one, too. We have been talking about how he continually is showing out and running in the top 10 here, and then something happens late. And, well, Here we are, late in the race once again, and one that he was battling for a top 5 spot with some really, really strong competition here today, and now falling back to the 10th spot. Still is likely to be a top 10 day for him if he's able to keep all the wheels under him for the last 6 laps here, but what could have been for the 87.
Wood staying out there.
Same with the 77. That's the other name that I'm curious about. He's lost a lot of that buffer back to Carter Linz, but trying to make it happen. Dakota Floyd has a lot of room to give on the track right now. He's 18 seconds ahead of both of them. So if he is trying to make this thing, I know he's really not in a good fuel situation to do that, but like he has a lot of time to give if he's really going to try to work the clutch here.
Yeah, well, I wish I knew the answer to this. Grant Turner now Likens side by side. Turner to the left. Into the bus stop. 13's going to let him by. Likens has a little bit of left front damage on that 13 car. Turner going to do a fantastic job, though. Even if, the strategy didn't work out for him, he's still going to get a top 10 out of this.
Yeah, and, is really put together a nice back half of the run here. Put him in a good spot here, good points day for the 39. Taking a look here, this is the 64 of Ben Laughter that we're riding on board with right now. Trying to track down the 30 of Pennington. This is a battle on track for 17th between these two. And there is the onboard with the 64. And Dakota Floyd has just come down pit road, so Carter Linz has re-inherited the lead here. And I don't believe there's anyone on a fuel strategy here that's still out that's going to make something happen. So Carter Linz, I think, has played his cards right here today with 5 to go.
There'll be 4 to go and just a couple corners. Grant Thorpe about 2.5 seconds back. I think Thorpe can make it to the end, but watching Trevor Keith chase him down last time by was about 3 seconds faster. The gap between those two cars is about 4, and it keeps coming down.
Yeah, Trevor Keith trying to really hustle down the 77 here, try to work his way into that runner-up spot. And Parker Johnson looking to try to break onto the podium here if he's able to track down the 77. Grant Thorpe, though, going to try to stretch this thing for all it's worth for the last couple lapses. There goes the 39 of Grant Turner into a top 5 running position here with 4 to go.
It's Joe Joya in the 7, 16 laps down. Matt Robinson going to go by. He's actually getting passed by Dakota Floyd for the 6th spot. Floyd, last time on pit road, looks like he took 4 tires. That's surprising.
Maybe he's just, it either wasn't intentional or because he took 2 tires early on, he's just trying to put a full fresh set on there. Try to track down maybe a spot or 2 here before the end of this one. Just got around Robinson. Might be able to reel in Grant Turner here in the closing moments and put himself back in a top 5 position when it's all said and done today. And you were talking earlier about how Trevor Keith was making some serious headway to Grant Thorpe. That gap was 4.5 seconds last lap. It's down to about 2 now.
Yeah, he's catching the 77. He'll be there before we take the white flag.
When the way this race started, I thought Trevor Keith was going to be in a tough spot there, not getting any stage points from the early spin. And then with the way this race has unfolded, very commendable job to put him back into a spot here to get a good points day out of this, because did not look like it was going to be that off the jump.
And Orlando looking for 12th position on Kyle Stewart. Stewart, quiet day. It's also what he needed.
Yeah. And especially qualifying 24th, I mean, battling here for 12th in the closing moments, that's a performance that you probably take 9 times out of 10. Obviously, a top 10 would be nice, but going up a double-digit amount of positions from where you qualified on a road course. Can't ask for much more than that. As you see Dakota Floyd now past Grant Turner for the 5th spot. So with 3 laps to go, those fresh tires putting in some work here for the 57.
Heat's here. There he is.
And this is the battle for second. And a battle maybe in a bit of air quotes because the 77 is just in fuel save mode here. But Trevor Keith will take that spot going into turn 1. He'll take second, and Parker Johnson, I think, just a little too far back here to capitalize for third. And everyone is 9 or more seconds back of that man, Carter Lins. A lot of battling still happening here in the top 10 with only 2 to go.
Yeah, Matt Robinson looking to Grant Turner. Turner going to fall back to 7th. Now, again, still, I think what we saw with the 39 and that strategy call, making it one stop here to the end. The same thing with Grant Thorpe. You improved your day massively. You probably had a 15th place car and you turned it into a top 10. Based off of pace, Turner's still turning 111.883 last time by, compared to most of the drivers that started this race in the top 10 running 109.
Yeah, this is going to be a great effort here for the 39. Going to be a great effort for Grant Thorpe, especially if he's able to hold on to this podium spot here, which it looks like he will. Fantastic stuff all around. So we are now on the white flag lap. This is presented by Earhart Homes. Love where you live, and no one's loving it more right now than Carter Lins. 10 seconds clear of Trevor Keith as he makes his way through the S's for the final time. Been a fantastic drive for that man today.
Partnership could get started here between Earhart Homes, Lens Heating and Cooling. I think it's only fitting that they distribute Ream. I don't know. I'm just making words at this point. We have nothing to talk about. Carter Lins is 9 seconds ahead, and he's got this race wrapped up with 2 corners left. Less than a mile left into turn 6, and then into turn 7. Carter Lins, winner at Kansas, now a winner back-to-back. He's going to get Watkins Glen in week number 9. Racing Revolution in the Chapman Cup Series.
Yeah, and we knew this was coming. He's been so fast all year. Finally now starting to get the results to go with that speed. Winner last week, winner here today. Only led 15 laps, but that's because he was chasing the strategy kind of the entire back half of the race, but played it right. Got there when he needed to, and settles in for what was a very comfortable win here today for that 66 machine. A very nice job. Trevor Keith, Grant Thorpe going to be second and third. And a late dive at the line for a couple folks trying to get around Alex Forget, who was stretching that thing as far as he could.
There was a tight battle with Parker Johnson and Dakota Floyd across the line.
Yeah, there was. Dakota Floyd almost got there. Take a look at this one more time. Got to the back bumper going into 7. And gets a great run off the corner on those fresh tires. Johnston almost lost it a little bit, and there they go, racing to the line. Johnston held on the 4th just barely. And then also a good battle between Forget and Justin Ritchie, as Forget was trying to stretch this thing for all it was worth to the end. He was way down on pace compared to the 55. And good little battle here between Nelson and Rader. That was for the 14th position. What a recovery for the 53. Rallied back to a 14th place finish. Lead lap run here today after the black flag. Grant Thorpe is getting pushed around the rest of this racetrack while Carter Lins is burning it down. 77 stretched it for all it was worth, and he's got a train of about 4 cars pushing him now down the short chute. So like Trevor Keith, Dakota Floyd, and Kevin Orlando, and now Trevor Earhart going to join in on the fun. There's just a freight train helping the 3rd place finisher back to the start-finish line here today.
Post-race interviews, we're going to bring up your victory lane in just a moment, but we got to round up these race results a little quicker than usual, so we're going to take another quick break here on Vspeed, and we'll be back with Carter Lins, Trevor Keith, and Grant Thorpe for those final race results in just a moment.
Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus, it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket.
Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
Welcome back here to Watkins Glen International, where Carter Lenz has went back-to-back from Kansas now to the East Coast. Trevor Keith and Grant Thorpe have found their way to a top three. And the first driver that we're going to bring in for a post-race interview is going to be your victor at this race. And you'll have to remind me here. I remember you telling me who you wanted.
Oh, I'm here. I wanted to get one this year.
All right. Well, you got two of them. So it's Carter Lenz, and I tell you what, while we have you up here, first thing we got to talk about is the calamity on that restart. I mean, I knew you were fast here tonight. You were keeping the 9 honest, but when he's completely taken out of the picture, that makes you feel so much better.
There's a little bit of a weight off the shoulders there. It is unfortunate to see what happened to Burns. I mean, it was really fun just staying right on his bumper, staying glued to him, keeping him within a second in front of me, which it always sucks to see, a fast competitor like that get taken out. But I mean, he wins all of these things. So, I mean, it is cool to see someone else finally win one. And I've been trying hard. I've been gunning him down 3 years now in this league, and it finally happened today. So no, I'm happy.
Well, even with that, we've seen issues happen with those guys that are typically up in the top 3, and they recover back and they end up being a factor at the end of this race. But you go back to Coda, where we were turning left and right, and Coda was one of those that you wish you had back. You had a fast car there in season 4. You come back at the tail end and just a handling issue, or maybe the car not the way you wanted it. It seems like every time you get something figured out here, Carter, it's a change of pace. The car gets an update, something gets thrown in the wash.
Yeah, no. When me and Jeremy were joking about that earlier, where we were talking about Coda earlier this year, and I was like, I say it about once or twice every month. I'm just like, I should have used the bumper, but I didn't want to beat Jeremy that way. My first time, it had to be natural flow of the race. I didn't want to move him out of the way right on the last corner, and it wasn't going to be a fair fight to the end right there on the coming to the checkered flag. So happy to have it, happen naturally. I mean, still, it sucks that he wasn't there at the end. I wish, it would have been a 1-2-3 battle me, TK, Burns there all the way throughout the second half of the stage. But nonetheless, yeah, all the updates, everything that's changing. The field is kind of evening out a little bit more to where I don't think Burns has the edge where he can have 20, 30-second leads now anymore, where me, TK, Dakota Floyd, a couple other guys, they're starting to show real promising speed. Rob this season, he has been incredibly fast on road courses, which last year, I don't think we really saw him that much. We maybe saw him in the top 5, top 10 a couple times, but battling up front with Burns lap after lap, no, it's incredible on what this season's bringing here at road courses.
Well, I'm going to make a little subtle joke too. You probably got used to seeing DuPont in your mirror because it's right behind you every race. So if you want to talk trash to Dakota Floyd, that's the time to do it.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to talk trash to Dakota. No, Dakota's a good guy. He's always fun to race around. Was making a little bit of a challenge there to get around him for a while, but I do like seeing the DuPont car out on track. I'll always be a fan of 24 of Jeff Gordon's cars, so it is cool seeing that out there every week.
Well, Carter, we have you back to back now. Kansas, you got one. You were happy with that. I think you were just content to finally put it all together. And now your second victory in the first half of this season. Is there anybody you want to shout out?
I'm going to shout out first, foremost, the league, Racing Rev, for allowing me to be here every week. Vspeed, you guys in the booth, do an incredible job every week. It's always fun having you guys here, getting to talk to you guys. All the sponsors, Chapman Environmental, Lindsay and Air Conditioning, Earhart Homes, All About Bugs, all the league sponsors that help put this together each season. Then yet again, all the sponsors on the car, Lindsay and Air Conditioning, Ream, all that on the car. All the friends and family I know are watching, and I was told to say this. Hi, Mom and Dad.
There you go.
Yeah, all the friends and family watching, and my girlfriend Sarah. I know she's yet again waiting for me here after this interview here. So no, that's really it for you guys.
Well, another celebration in the Lenz household, and I know that this one probably doesn't taste as good as the one last week, but it's still a great one. So have your cake, eat it too. We'll see you in a week's time in Texas.
Yeah, thank you. You guys have a great one.
Carter Lenz, victorious here at Watkins Glen. And again, I'm going to double down. I remember talking to you about it. Alex, you got to help me out here.
Yeah, I'll talk to our next guest here, our second place finisher. So we'll bring Trevor.
And
Keith
you got to bring up Sandy the pit barrel.
Absolutely.
Bring up Sandy.
Hey there, TK. This is Alex and Bradley in the Vspeed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, you put together a great back half of the race there after the early spin in turn one, but it felt like you just kept whittling away at that deficit, and before you know it, you and Sandy and the KSX pit barrel machine were running up there on the podium. I have several questions for you, but first and foremost, talk to us about the paint scheme tonight, because we had a good conversation about it. We were watching, we're like, wow, that is sick.
So yeah, the KSX pick barrels, you guys put it up a lot, and I'm very appreciative of you guys putting that up and helping us out with that. It's kind of an inside joke. We've had a lot of guys hit the barrel, so I was like, why don't I do something fun with it? So I did, and so now we have guys that hit the pit barrels. I'll put them on the car to showcase them. I did it last year. We had 6 guys, and so I decided to do it again this year, and I put them on the side of the car this year instead of the rear end, so it's bigger, better, and bolder, right? So Parker hit him a couple weeks ago. We had one tonight, by the way, in the 8, Brendan Richardson. So you guys, I don't know if you guys caught that one, but he definitely did hit him. So he'll be put on the car too.
Hell yeah. Well, I tell you what, talk to us a little bit about your race. Obviously a great qualifying effort, and we knew you were going to be one of those guys that were going to be in the hunt for a good run here tonight, kind of from the drop of things. And then a couple laps in, you have a moment there in turn one. Keep it off the wall, keep it off of any other cars, but obviously cost yourself a lot of track position there. What was it like trying to work that back the rest of the race?
That was interesting. Yeah. I qualified fourth. I wish qualifying at any track this year has not been great. It's been kind of hit or miss, and I was like 4 seconds off of Rob and Carter and Jeremy and stuff, and I was running lap times just what they were. So we got to work on that. But fourth is great, so I thought I was in good position. Dakota got by me through turn one. Just it happens. He's on the inside there, and I sent it in at turn one laps later to pass him, and I thought I was fine until I got down in there and I hit the bump, and I was trying to make sure I didn't wreck him. Like that's the last thing I wanted to do. And I hit that. There's a bump on that curb down there, and when you hit it, it's game over. And I hit it, it spun, and that was fun. Um, but then after that, it's just staying patient. Like not before, probably you could overdrive easily, do it again, right? Trying to make up those spots back. I'm running 12th at the time, fell to 12th, and didn't even get stage points. But I knew through testing and stuff that I could take 2 tires at the stage and gain track position. And I was like, just stay patient here, keep the car clean, keep the right sides, manageable for when I take 2 lefts here. And so didn't get stage points. It's a bummer. It's kind of hurts, but we made up for it with the 2 tire call. Then whatever happened after that, to begin the second stage. I mean, it was chaos after that, and I'm glad I got around all that chaos before it found me, because a lot of guys had a lot of days ruined because of that, and I'm not entirely sure exactly what happened, but I made a strategy, stuck with it. I was running I know Thorpe made a 1-stopper. I wasn't ever going to do that. He's a better man than me at saving fuel. I tell you that much. So I was like, I'm going to go 12 laps pit, 12 laps pit. And that's what I did. And I undercut Dakota and almost undercut Carter at one point, but I knew Carter had better pace than me. I wasn't going to try to fight him. Last year, it was Jeremy ended up getting wrecked lap 1, and then me and Carter didn't win the race, and it was tough to see someone else win. That's not me, Carter, when Jeremy doesn't win. So I knew we had to solidify a 1-2 there, so I didn't want to hurt him too bad by going the side by side in the S's and both of us wreck or something. So he came out of the pits. We were side by side. I let him go, and I told him we'll just race later if we have to, and then he just pulled away. I mean, the man was fast today. So happy for Carter. He got it done finally. It's my turn next, though.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, it's only one spot away from it, and you had a great run the rest of the race here. Trevor, anyone you'd like to shout out here tonight on the podium finish from Watkins Glen?
Yeah, let's shout out Carter. I mean, the dude works hard at these things. He's fast at these things all the time. Anytime you have Jeremy Burns in here, it's hard to win. Finally got it done. KSX Racing Graphics and the pit barrels. Shout those out. Shout out Brandon Richardson for putting his name on the car. Let's shout out all the league sponsors: Chapman Environmental and Coastal Financial, All About Bugs, Earhart Homes, Lynn's Heating and Cooling, and shout out Vspeed. I mean, you guys do an incredible job every week. Very happy with the product Vspeed puts out. I can't wait to go back and watch it.
We appreciate that, and we also appreciate the action that you provide us on the track. Makes our job easy. Absolutely.
Road course got to be entertaining, right?
Hey, so far we're on a great run of them lately. So,
one more thing before I go, I would apologize to Pemitat. We had a little contact at turn 1, and he ended up spinning. I don't know if that's why he spun or not, but I do want to put a apology out there to Brandon Pemitat. He had a great run. He was fast. I mean, that dude, it's an eye to watch for the next road course. He's got it figured out. Probably just as fast as I was. And ended up spinning after we made contact. So don't know if that was the fault, but I do want to apologize to him.
Alrighty, well, certainly looking forward to your battle with him in the next road course, as well as some of the other guys up front. TK, appreciate you dropping by. Congrats on the run, and we will catch you next week at Texas.
Yes, sir. Always happy to be up here.
That is your second place finisher here today, Trevor Keith.
One more driver to talk to here in the top 3. It's Grant Thorpe and the 77. Third place finisher, Grant Thorpe. Do you got a copy with us?
I gotcha.
Strategy call here. Was starting to wonder if maybe that was the call to win the race, because the way that you, and I believe it was Grant Turner, and a couple other drivers had pulled it off there. One stop could have got it done. I think the overall pace, though, just a couple seconds off of these guys that were up front. What's your opinion on it? I know that you massively improved the day with this car and what it was going to be, probably a top 10 at best. And so you put this car up in the top 3 and get to talk to us.
Yeah, I kind of got lucky on that restart. I was in the right spot. People kind of cleared out of the way when they wrecked on the restart. From then on, I kind of had a decision to make whether try to start saving then and get an extra lap on the front end or push and two-stop it. It wasn't going to hurt me, I didn't think, unless I tried to stretch it, was barely moving at the end and ran out. But at this point in the season, might as well try to steal a win somehow, get some points that way.
Well, Grant, let's go back to the beginning of this race. Road courses are always kind of that asterisk in the season. They can be tough for certain people. They can be a strategy and a surprise for others. And you're out here with the mentality of, I'm going to go out here and approach this with, I'm going to outsmart these guys. Whereas a lot of people are always focused on pace. What do you think your best track would be if you could apply that same knowledge?
I mean, it honestly just kind of comes to like where the stages are. Fortunately, don't have time to practice and try to actually calculate it before the race and see if it's even doable or not. So it's kind of on a whim deciding what I'm gonna do. I kind of wish I would have pit right before we went green on the stage, or after the stage break. Don't know if I would have had the pace to start in the back and save and have one less lap to save. If that would have been enough or not. Like I said, long answer, but really just kind of depends on the stage, I guess. No particular track. Maybe Pocono if I had to pick one.
Hey, we get paid for long answers, so whatever you gotta say, man. It is a long season, and that's the long answer. If we could figure out the strategy here and apply it later on in the season, I think that's kind of where your learning curve is right now.
Oh, no doubt.
Well, Grant, we appreciate you coming up here and talking to us, and we still got a lot of racing left to be done. But you are on the podium this week. Who put the 77 here in 3rd place?
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys as always. Just all the admin team for doing what they do every week.
Grant Thorpe, 3rd place here at Watkins Glen. We'll see you next week at Texas.
Have a good one, guys.
So it was a race of attrition.
Oh,
surprisingly. Yeah. I mean, how many drivers did we see get taken out? There were probably top 10 contenders here tonight. I don't ever want to seem like I have a bias, but I predicted it. And we've seen it time and time again, Alex. When you stay out like that and you got a guy that's maybe not top 10 pace, you gotta make it known. You gotta shout it out, and you hope they're watching the broadcast to know, hey, maybe I didn't think of this. So I guess that's kind of my mindset with that one.
Yeah, it's one of those deals where when it works out, you get to prove everybody wrong. Unfortunately, that was not the case here tonight. And it cost not only themselves, but also a couple other cars in the grand scheme of things here with how wadded up things got going into turn 1 and then up through the S's. But overall, Carter Lenz gets it done here at a road course for the first time in a while. And tell you what, we're seeing there's been a lot of thinking going on inside the cars, I feel like, this year. There's a lot of folks figuring out exactly where they need to put the car fuel-wise to make something happen, and it's kept the strategy racing very interesting to watch up here in the booth.
Got another one coming up next week here as we get shape up for the 10th race, I believe the 10th race of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're looking at Texas Motor Speedway, what do we have in store for us coming up?
Texas Motor Speedway is going to be rewarding the people who know how to take care of their stuff. Turns 1 and 2 do not drive the same as 3 and 4, and if you try to over throttle this thing when the tires feel great, you feel like Superman, then about 10 laps later, those tires completely disintegrate if you didn't take care of them, and you're going to be plummeting through the field. So the folks who know how to take care of their stuff, we're going to see really surge to the front here next week, I think.
Again, Texas Motor Speedway coming up at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch all the action live here on Vspeed. We have flag-to-flag coverage all season long of the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series. But that's going to do it for us up here in the booth. Alex Gagnon, thank you for coming back. Man, I missed you. It was good to have somebody to talk to throughout this entire thing. I'd like to thank Dougie Beer for the custom cameras that we have all season long, even if I did muck them up a little bit with my configuration. And everyone here at Chapman and Racing Revolution, Rob Rader and the admin team, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, and Logan Throkell. This is Bradley Cooper saying so long from Watkins Glen. We'll see you in 7 days' time at Texas. Stay tracking, everybody.